So we are on item 7.5, the Tai Tokerau Māori and Council Working Party appointments. Now, do I have a mover?
Mover and seconder, we're happy to stay.
Oh, happy to stay. Sorry, yes. Okay, so we have Marty to move and Peter Lucas to second. Now, would you like to say something, Jono?
Marty was going to propose some amendments to
Yeah, I'm prepared to amend it so that the recommendations become that item 1, that the report be received. Item 3, that council approves the appointment of Lynette Wharero onto the Natural Resources Working Party. And item 4, that council approves the appointment of Nige Manuel onto the Biosecurity and Biodiversity Working Party.
Okay, is that clear to everybody? You caught that, Chris?
Yes, thanks so much.
All in favour say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Against? Carried. Thank you very much. Item 7.8.1, that's the chair's report. We're working on the format.
Good.
Thank you.
A bit more information.
Yeah, I thought I might do fortnightly reports to you guys, and then we could just quickly pull it together for these meetings. So quickly, yeah. Do I have a mover?
Yep, you should.
Oh, I can move it.
Yep. I'd like to do 2 seconds.
And then, sorry, who's going to second it?
Second it. And I'd like to.
Thank you.
So regarding the tertiary students, remember I was hoping to meet them this time. So if we can just make a note of that, we missed them last time. So it'd be really good to meet them, and because I've seen them in the field, it'd be good to meet them, find out where they're going so we can pop up and say hello. That's all right.
Who are you talking about?
Oh, tertiary, it's the last item on Chair's report.
94.
Yeah, 6 tertiary students.
It's a great initiative.
We, they get appointed and they come through the system. We never see them, so very keen. Thank you.
Any other comments or questions?
Just something on the field days. We have some students who help go through, and they come back, say 3 or 4 years later when they've actually got their careers in place. It's really
and tell the farmers what to do.
yeah, as an agricultural career, yes, in that case. Yeah.
Fine. Thank you, John. Any other questions or comments? All right, so that was me and Rick. All in favour say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Against? Carried. Thank you very much. Item 8.2, the CE's report. Do we have a mover? Jack?
Happy to second it.
And John? Who would like to go first? Any discussion? Jack?
On page 100, just a question for Colin, I think. Coastal permit, just a little update on why there's such a high rate of non-compliance. There's really great rate of compliance just for every other darn thing we did this last month. But coastal permits, what's the story? Is that around about moorings, is it?
No, it's not a councillor across. It's in relation to the marine farm monitoring we do annually. We do an annual flyover farm, so there's about, from memory, about 100 odd farms. So that sort of why we've got a high number of non-compliances to wrap up, just because the amount of monitoring we've done in a short period of time.
So 114 was with some low, moderate or significant non-compliance. Most of those are going to be the farms.
Yeah, right.
So is there anything we need to know further?
A lot of it's relating to sort of maybe maintenance requirements and structures, navigation aids, filling up deposit material on the seabed. So we do follow it up and take enforcement action to address it.
And you're confident that we will be able to do this? It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Colin.
I was talking to the owners.
Yeah.
I did send an email response, a question. Jono, did you get feedback on
I
that?
got a feedback, but hopefully GMs have had a time to have a look at your questions.
So can I ask the question or is it?
Go for it.
Okay, I just wanted a property update. Virtually on the Waikato Service Centre, like I'm new to this. I'm not sure how long this has been going for. It seems like it's just hanging around, not going anywhere. It's obviously, and I want to know what money's been invested and why it is not progressing.
Could we have the page, please?
Okay,
Is it 98?
98.
98.
Madam
So
Chair,
that's the first one. You want to go over?
I can go first on
Okay.
in order, councillor. Just noting that Bruce or Phil aren't here, so I'll provide you the answer off the top of my head that I've got. One, there's a paper going to the Property and Investment Subcommittee next week, specifically on the Waipapa Service Centre. We brought it several years ago with the intention of building an NRC staff property on there, but also doing a commercial development at the same time, so that this commercial income can pay for the costs, our staff costs of having an office there. One of the limiting factors on that property is the lack of wastewater infrastructure from FNDC. You've got to have on-site wastewater system there. We're currently, in the report to investment and property confirms that we're currently getting a consultant to look at the property, the feasibility of us actually having an office there, plus being able to have a commercial return. Then there's going to be a decision for the investment and property subcommittee as to, based on that advice, if yes, you can do a commercial return, then yes, we're good to go. If no, you can't do a commercial return because of the limitations of the site, and now that we've actually done the feasibility assessment, it may well be that council goes, okay, this isn't the right site for this development and we need to find another location. Or the paper actually says one of the other options that council might want to consider is that council actually pays the PRF, our property reinvestment rent. So essentially we're paying ourselves, our commercial side, rent for us to be able to build our property there. Again, that'll be
That's coming to a head.
next week. Yep. Is when the paper goes to investment and property.
And there will be options. There's something up canvas with.
Yeah.
John already.
Okay, so yeah, it's just been a little radar. Nobody's actually qualified what's there. So the other one was that I brought up electric car charging stations at the front here. Is that correct? They're going down where the parking spots are for the chairperson and.
Correct. So the proposal, and this was the decision of the last council, sorry, Madam Chair.
Go.
Decision from the last council was that council wanted to encourage the chair and CE's future vehicles to be either hybrids or electric vehicles. And in doing so, providing the charging infrastructure for those two car parks at the front of our offices, hence why the infrastructure is going in. Just picking up on your further questions that you had in your email, yes, there are a lot of charging stations going in our car park out the back, and that is being staged as we convert our fleet from fossil fuels to hybrid or electric, where as we change our fleet, we're inserting that infrastructure. I think another 5 or 4 charging points were inserted in the last couple of months.
Okay, so the valid question is, do you think it's a good use of space having them for both of you versus parking around the back and freeing up these 2 parking spots so that everyone could use the charging stations instead of just the people that can get into this car park? Is what I'm saying, is that is a good use of space.
The issue is that there's no spaces out the back. Your fleet vehicles are fully taking up all of the space that we've got out the back. And actually overflowing out the back, hence why we have some staff category vehicles to take them home because we're running out of space. There is the option, I guess, that the CE and chair could use the out the back car parks, but I guess the issue is that there's no certainty of space to be able to charge the vehicles.
I'm just asking the question.
Yeah.
You know.
Equally, when we're not using those spaces, other NRC vehicles would be able to be using the space to be able to charge the NRC vehicles if I'm not there.
I've been caught in Tui spot once, never again.
So I get coffee.
I'll be more accommodating.
What's your coffee?
And yeah, no, that's valid though. Those things I thought about too, but thank you for that.
Any other
Okay.
questions?
Oh, sorry. No, that was the main on the property update. So I know nobody's here from the NIWA facility, and I was quite impressed with them, but they seem to be lagging now. The facility's been. I know they pay us rent of 8 million a year, but Should we be worried that this might be a failed operation, that they've invested so much money?
No, so I can provide a quick update if I can, Madam Chair.
Yes, thank you.
So we've already passed the point and Niwa's already started paying us rent.
Yep.
The issue has been corrosion of, and I don't know exactly the part, there's been a corrosion issue with one of the components that they're looking into. And they're looking at whether a plastic alternative is the best option or whether there's something else that needs to be changed. It's not a fundamental flaw.
Okay.
And it's something that they anticipate resolving.
I don't want to hold them up because Jack's glaring at me.
Before going off the NIWA then, it says there, oh, no, I'm asking, are there any proposals, just a general statement that they want to keep on working with us in building partnership?
So we have an agreement as part of our agreement that we've got with NIWA that we've already signalled that we'd like the opportunity to be a partner moving forward. If there is future options moving forward, and that's still on the table. The focus at the moment is to operationalise the current facility and make sure that it works.
I'm just wondering, are there other ideas that are being floated?
Not at present.
Okay, Rick, go.
Just as chair of investment and property, there will be an update on Waipapa, there'll be an update on Niwa. And although there's not a set time for the fish going in, it's not too far away, so it's very close. Imminent, yeah. So it's supposed to.
And just backtracking a little bit to the charging station, what is the cost of it? Just because it will be taken up there, just for sole purpose of chair and CEO car. What's the cost of it, and there's a better way of charging your cars?
Or
lead?
It was a decision I think made, might have been September council meeting last year. I can go back and find the paper and circulate it to councillors, just so you can see the proposal and the cost if that's what you'd like.
Yeah, please.
Do either of you have electric cars?
Not at present.
I will have a hybrid as of next week.
Yeah, there we go. No charging.
That's what I've thought about, where will I park?
No charging station.
And just to clarify my position, I had a vehicle when I was a group manager. I've kept the same vehicle coming in as CE, and when it's time to trade it out, I'll be looking for a hybrid or electric as well.
Any other questions or discussion?
Waste, water, air and land use, the compliance monitoring. I enjoyed looking at the new format, but I was also wondering, where's Taipa on that list?
Yes, Colin?
The sites, plants. Page 100.
Yeah, page 101 and 102, and the municipal wastewater treatment plants. Taipa used to feature on the list.
Colin?
It's a good question, but it's not on there. I'm just going for it now myself. It's possible that it might have just been an editing error. Should be on there.
Otherwise, my councillors, it's not there. We'll email out the equivalent under the table to provide an update for the Taipa.
Yeah.
Kia ora.
So I think it's just an editing to Councillor Lucas.
Okay. Any other comments or questions regarding the CE report?
Just around the Kākahi survey, through you, Madam Chair, and in terms of Rotokawau and those lakes that have the Kākahi, how do we communicate those situations with the mandated iwi authorities for those areas that those lakes exist in?
Jono?
Kia ora, Madam Chair. I'll look to Ruben to provide a fuller feedback, but my understanding, Peter Lucas, Councillor Jones, is that this has been done very much in partnership with Hapu on the ground there, and that if out of any of our monitoring programs, this is really one that is done in partnership, so the communication is there because they're right there in the design and the undertaking and then getting the feedback of the results as well. I assume you're on page 106. in
Yeah,
the table.
106.
Yeah,
Only because it refers to the pine needles. And along the Opoti Peninsula, of course, a number of pine forests and of course dune lakes, and how we might be able to encourage some discussion with those that are either felling trees, or how we might be able to provide for a solution for this problem that's being described on 106, page 106. That's all. Kia ora.
Do you have anything you want to add, Ruben, other than, I think we can take, how do we make sure that the finding of the survey we communicate it as broadly as we can to make sure that mana whenua, A, have the information and we're sharing it across the region, and B, how it can be some influence future decision making. That's where you're coming from, Councillor Jones?
Yeah.
Right.
Kia ora, Chair. I don't have anything of further detail to add, other than just to reiterate that the team does work very closely with the mana whenua, but I take the point that it's about distribution of the information that we're gathering. So I'll work with the team and provide confirmation around how we will do that after this meeting.
Okay. Thank you, Ruben. Jack and then John.
Sorry, Madam Chair. Something I didn't pick up last night. On page 106, terrestrial baseline tracking tube code indices for taika. I guess because they're very high indices, especially for possum. So I'm just going to ask Don if we have a plan. Do we have a plan to do some control works in taika?
Tēnā koe te kahurangi. Councillor Crawl, we have ongoing possum control in there, but not a comprehensive plan that would target all pest species yet. So I understand that there's a biodiversity report that has been completed outlining all the values for the area, and our pest plan at the moment really only covers possum control.
Not very well by the looks of things. They're fairly high. It's a pretty high index.
Yeah.
But so I guess my question is, are we going to be putting together a plan for integrated pest management plan for taika with the outcome of biodiversity protection? Because the reports we've had on biodiversity are pretty high. So it's really worth doing. So my question is, are we developing a comprehensive pest control plan for our own forest?
Is it Jono?
Kia ora, Madam Chair. Yes is the short answer. So as this is a different situation, obviously, in that we're the property owner in this situation. So I have seen email correspondence between Phil and Lisa around what a comprehensive pest management plan would be for our property as property owner. And that will likely be something that will be coming to council with options as to how you might fund or present that plan, and how you then might consider options to fund it. Because obviously it's something outside our current budgeted activities on that property.
Okay. Any other question? Oh, yes, sorry, John.
It's page 117, you're talking about customer services and telephone calls. Pretty impressive figures. You know, most of them are done within 30 seconds, and the average is about 9 to 8 seconds. I did ring Kaipara Council once. I got from Waiatira to Whangarei in my vehicle before they answered it. But the point is that you'd expect these numbers actually be sliding under these situations with lack of staff, and you've done well not to let that happen. But I rang Inland Revenue last week, and they normally have a button you can push, I'll ring you back within 10 minutes. They've changed it now. You got a choice, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's the days. You want Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday to ring you back. That's how Inland Revenue is dealing with it now. So their service has dropped right away. So congratulations.
Yeah, and noting we have received really good feedback on our frontline staff. So very thankful for them. Any other questions or comments from councillors? Okay. With that, we had
That might get more than 23,000.
Jack move and John second. All in favour say aye.
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 Against, carried. Thank you very much. Item 8.3, reporting on the long-term plan. Page 136.
131, committee
looking at?
minutes.
131.
No,
29.
29.
I'm happy to move.
Healthy changes.
Rick's moving. Do we have a seconder?
I'll second it. No.
Thank you, John.
For ease of getting away at 1 o'clock. Thank you, John.
Jono.
Madam Chair, just taking the opportunity to highlight for councillors that this will be one of the areas that where councillors have already signalled and will be looking to facilitate a discussion through the LTP to see what a more comprehensive outcomes and outputs type framework might be for council, to make sure that we've got clear outcomes identified and clear outputs that you've got budget associated with. So you've got a better, or I guess we're continuing our journey on having an improved framework around KPIs monitoring. So just flagging, I guess, that we are going to have a more detailed discussion about this through the LTP process.
Lovely. Any questions or comments? Oh, Joe. Joe has, Joe's no longer in the building.
No.
Do we want to reach out to him to see if he's got technical issues?
Well, I think he's got an appointment at the doctor's, so
Oh, that's right.
I suspect it's that.
Right, let's just note it.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. If there's no further questions or comments, as moved by Rick and seconded by John, all in favour say aye.
Aye.
Against, carried. Thank you. Item 9.1. My page numbers. Right.
131.
1.
Happy to move, Chair.
It's Marty moving. Do we have a seconder? Lucas. Confirmation of the minutes. Would anyone like to raise anything?
Joe wasn't here.
Well, they're all taken as read, right? And if you had any changes, then, yeah, okay, so the reports be received, the minutes, sorry, be received, all in favour say aye.
Aye.
Against, carried, thank you. 9.2. Page 145.
Happy to move.
Rick's moving. Do we have a seconder?
I'm happy to second. Amy to second, please.
Thank you. Any discussion? Okay,
I will, sorry.
go, Rick.
We had a really good turnout at TTMAC last time, so I do want to thank everybody. It was good. It was actually a lot of people in the room. One of the best we've had, so let's keep working on it. Getting really positive. Thank you.
Goodbye. Thank you, Rick. Okay, so, yep, that was Rick and Amy. All in favour say aye.
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 Against, carried. All right, now we're going to move into kaupapa aroto. Do I have a move for that? No. Sorry? Oh, business with the public excluded. That was Peter Lucas and
Yep.
Marty. Thank you.
I was just going to say, we don't need resolution 3, obviously, because our financial advisor is an apology today.
Sorry, just looking the link there.
Have we moved that? We didn't actually pass that motion.
Oh, sorry. All in favour say aye.
Aye.
Against? Carried. Right, I have to, what am I on from copy?